Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. I have never been so excited to talk about something I love so much. Welcome to episode 2 of Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls with Sports Babe, 305 Sports Babe. And today I have an amazing guest. And actually, it worked out perfectly because this person is a personal friend of mine. And we talked about having this episode a few days ago, and going into this, we were like, we're not sure how it's gonna be, but today on my show, I have Danny Montes Alvarez, who is MLB affiliated and also owner and writer from L Extra Base. And no better time to talk to him today because what happened today after 99 days, we have baseball back. So without further ado, let me bring Danny. Danny, how are you?
Hi Ash, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's a true honor to be your first guest in this new adventure. Very happy to be here, and
Thank you.
of course very happy to have baseball back. Right? I mean, I was in Jupiter for minor league camp with the Marlins, but at some point I started not paying attention to, or I stopped paying attention
And
to the
started giving
minor
up on it.
leaguers and start reaching out to people in the
Yeah,
industry to see what was going on.
definitely. Now, Danny, let me tell my our viewers a little thing, some things about you. So you've covered World Series before. How many have you covered? More than I can count.
Uh, Two, like in person, two, the ones in 2019 and 2021,
Yep.
um, both in Houston, Washington, and Atlanta.
And All
I
Star
did
games
the
you've
one,
been to.
yeah, All Star games. Every All Star game since 2017. Um, and also I did TV, and I covered the World Series on TV on
Perfect. So
color as a color analyst, yeah, with Francisco Cervelli and Fernando Arreaza.
amazing. So let's like bring the viewers into like what was happening, what was the issue. Obviously, we knew we had greedy owners and we had the Players Association. Like, what was going on? What couldn't they figure out? What were the issues that were preventing us from having baseball right now or prior?
You know, obviously the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, expired on December 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously there were issues on that CBA that needed to be addressed, especially from the players more than from the league.
Yeah.
And they knew they were under pressure, and the players wanted to get those issues solved as quick as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
um, so the owners felt that locking out the players and the entire league was a better solution to speed up the negotiations,
Yeah.
because they wanted to get the CBA done before starting the season, because if not, they were risking maybe starting the season and then having the players going to a strike, like it happened
Goodness.
in 94,
Yeah.
by not having a deal. The thing is that Rob Manfred, the commissioner, he said on December 2nd that the lockout was made to, or was implemented to speed up the negotiations, and they waited
That backfired
43.
real quick, right?
So they
Uh-uh.
waited 43 days. Makes sense, right? To send their first proposal, and when they did
Goodness.
it, they sent basically the same proposal that they sent on December 1st, and then months before, because remember they've been negotiating this for, since they signed on December 1st of 2016,
Yeah.
and on that date, many people said, um, this will probably be the last 5 years of labor peace that we're going to have in the majors before having a strike or a lockout. So
Yeah.
sadly, it happened. The task now is to have the league, and Rob Manfred admitted this, making their best effort to promote and to have a better relationship and trust, especially the trust with the players. So this doesn't happen again. I don't think we can take in 5 years 3.5 months of a lockout. We
No,
just can't do it.
everything's so back up. I mean, I remember, in February, pitchers and catchers were supposed to report, and I'm thinking, okay, like it's gonna happen. And so, in your own words, like what were the main issues and points? I know, like some of it was money, some of it was the rules. What were they really arguing about? Like, what were the main things?
Well, the main things were minimum salary. The players proposed pre-arbitration pool money for those players that are facing, pre-arbitration in the first and third year of service time. Also, international draft was
Yeah,
and still being one of the main things. They'll still have to discuss that until July 25th. Service time manipulation, the Super Two players. Um, I think I'm missing a couple things. Of course, the competitive balance tax, which was known as the luxury tax. Uh,
yes,
those were the major issues, and what we have to say here is that the players they came up with so many important points to discuss in these negotiations.
they were active in
And
it. The players wanted it. The players just don't want
yes,
to sit home. They
and
just did a whole COVID thing. They're ready to
yeah,
play. Absolutely.
exactly. And many of those points were non-starters for the league. So the players actually they had to concede on many aspects, and
Man.
maybe they're just gonna wait until the next CBA, but hopefully they will have a better relationship so they can speed up things now
No,
in real time
definitely.
and do
So
it
we know,
as
like,
they
we're
should.
looking at spring trading starting on St. Patrick's Day next week. Opening day looking like April 7th. Some things that I heard were the salary increase now. The starting salary for is 700,000. The minimum salary is 700,000, which
Hmm.
I think it's kind of fair. I mean, how do you feel about that? We know that the owners make billions, and you figure like the players should get more of a pot of that. I mean, you kind of on
Yes,
board with
yeah,
that,
and
or
in on the major leagues in America. I mean, football, basketball, hockey,
yeah,
and also baseball. Baseball players had the worst, or at least the lowest
so true.
minimum salary, and they were the ones playing the
They play
most
the
amount
most
of games,
games, and that's
right?
what's crazy. Yes, so
Obviously,
true.
it's not the same. I mean, every sport is different,
Of course.
and all of them are tough on their own discipline, but
Yep.
um, they needed to get this done, especially because baseball is an industry that is making more than 10 billions per year.
Of
And
course.
now
It's huge.
you see the agreement with the league and TBS and ESPN and Fox and now
Yeah.
Apple TV and Amazon
Mhm.
and Peacock. I mean, they're
They want a
making
piece of the
money,
puzzle.
and it's
Yeah.
yeah, and the players' minimum salary was basically still being the same over the years, or even getting worse.
Yeah.
So they needed to get that done, and I know many people were trying to make the players look like, well, where you guys are getting paid to play this, and you got to be
To play the
thankful.
game you
Well, yeah,
love, it's fun. It's a hobby for them, but they
like,
still need to
yeah,
make an honest living.
it's like, yeah, they of course they're thankful, but they made a lot of sacrifices to get there, and it is their money, and
And
they
their
deserve it.
families may not be here, and there's a lot. One thing, well, two things I want to ask you. So now we know the playoff system. 12 teams going into the playoffs.
Hmm.
Postseason. How do you feel about that? I'm a little shocked. That seems like a big number to me, but how do you feel about that?
I feel good. I feel better with 12 teams rather than with 14 teams,
Okay.
because I think that what we
The
saw
new format
in,
of it.
yeah, and the format in 2020 with that amount of teams is that maybe some teams were um, you know rewarded with even with mediocrity,
Yeah.
and and yes, it was a COVID season with 60 games, and it was different. It was a different situation, but now they cannot let that happen again, and I'm glad it's 12 teams. I think that expanded playoffs will be good for the sport.
So you like that?
But yeah, baseball playoffs, they're fun.
Well, Danny, how many games is it
every
going to be for
series.
like the wild card? Is it going to be a 3 game series or a 5 game series? Have they figured that out
We,
yet?
we, we, we we still have to see how the exact format's going to be once
Okay.
the details come out. But it's definitely going to be 12 teams, obviously 6 per league.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you know what
and
bothers me about
yeah,
that, and
yeah.
I'm a Yankee. I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I love the
Red
Marlins.
Sox fan and a Marlins fan and
So
so
my
many
concern
teams
is
fan.
that Red Sox, Yankees, Dodgers most likely go to postseason, and they're one of the hottest teams in the league. So if it's expanded to 12 teams and it's a 3 game series, anything can happen within the 3 game series. So that I feel like
Anything.
diminishes the Red Sox shot or a Yankee shot or a Dodger shot from losing to somebody maybe like a Toronto or a team that just barely made the playoffs. Are they thinking about like that's like a watered down playoff system? I kind of feel like. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that we can see something like that with the NBA and the play-in and
That is
teams
true.
that might go in with a playing for a 500 record or under 500, because it happens, and also in the NFL. But with baseball, I think it's going to be different. Now every team has the responsibility to win their division.
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year, for example, on the Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
They did not win more than 90 games, but
And they
they
snuck
won they
in.
won but they won their division, and they had the opportunity to be in the playoffs, to start a playoff series against the Dodgers, who won more than 100 games, but to start that series at home, and that could have been one of the reasons of why they won the World Series, right?
Yeah. No.
And
Absolutely.
because the Dodgers, they won that many games, but they did not win their division by one game, and they
Mm-hmm.
had to go to a wild card game with the Cardinals, and then they did not have home field advantage against the Giants because the Giants did an incredible job.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
The
happens,
Yankees did
and
too. I
yeah,
hate
the
to say
Yankees
it,
did as
but
well,
they
exactly. So um,
did too.
it's part of the game now, and we just gotta see.
Perfect. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was designated hitter, right? So I think Marlins, I think, okay, Aggie's going to get more up to bat. It opens up first base. How do you feel about taking the pitcher out and, having a designated hitter coming in for the National League, a universal designated hitter? How do you feel about
In,
that one?
Incredibly good.
Do
I
you?
didn't
You
want to see
like
a
that?
pitcher.
Okay.
I didn't want to see a pitcher hitting ever again in my
I know
life.
it's too risky, I feel like.
Yeah, unless his name is Zach Greinke, but other
Yeah.
than that, I didn't want to see that again.
Well,
Um,
talking about pitchers, this pitch clock. How do you okay? So like how is it fair to a pitcher that you're being rushed and if they don't make that time, is an automatic ball? Like what's up with this pitch clock? Can you tell me what's going on with
yeah,
that pitch clock?
yeah, it's gonna be an automatic ball.
It is gonna be an automatic ball. Okay.
Yeah, and more consequences, but you know, the thing with this is that I think it's gonna speed up the game a little bit, not make the game shorter, but at least quicker. And those are not the same. Um, However, at the same point, on a counterpoint, they are banning the shift. I don't know how
Mhm.
that's gonna work. If it's gonna be like banned completely or at least limited.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have more offense, more runs, and more time in the games. So things are gonna change. Players in the minors, they had the pitch clock, they have the
Yeah.
bigger bases, they had the shift being banned, and at least there were no complaints about it. I think
Okay.
bigger bases are those are going to still like those are going to increase the stolen bases, and also
Yeah.
make it a little bit more safe for the players. We've seen injuries of some players stepping down on a first baseman foot
Oh,
or something like that,
I
and
cringe when I
and
see
and
that. But you
yeah,
talk about
exactly.
time, but how much time is this really going to save? Because now baseball is the only sport without a time clock. Basketball and football, soccer. How much
Yeah,
time is this really this clock's going to save?
I
Is it time
I
to
I
save?
I don't think it's gonna save that much, especially because
Okay.
if you're banning the shift, you're gonna have more. That's gonna affect so many things in the game. Pitchers, of course,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna get that many runs saved. More hitters getting better, getting more base hits,
Hmm.
um, better batting average. Also, defenders are not gonna be. evaluated the same way, because now we're going to see who has a, even a better range than a player that might catch everything that is hit it, towards him. So now things are going to change.
For the better,
And
you think, or you kind of
yeah.
think we're going backwards?
Mm, I don't think we ever go backwards.
Okay.
But I think, I don't know if it's going to be an evolution, maybe.
New
But it's,
chapter of baseball,
yeah,
maybe.
it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter. It's going to be a new era.
Yeah.
And that's going to be uh, quite a thing. But let's see what happens. I think that banning the shift is not going to help with, with the pitch clock, because maybe that can speed up the game, but allowing
Yeah.
more runs is going to maybe we're going to stay the same.
Well,
and
I
and
am
and
glad one thing that was last year that just drove me nuts is that extra innings man on second. I could not stand that. So thank goodness that's done. But moving forward, so now this whole thing's over. Free agency technically opens up right now, and three players
it
that
is
like are
it is open right now.
right. So like
So
Carlos
they
Correa,
can sign if they want.
Freeman, and Rizzo. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if moves start happening tonight. I know tomorrow it's going to be a madhouse. Any predictions with those big names? Anywhere you see them going? I mean, I'd love Correa on the Red Sox, but
And I don't think we'll see Correa on the Red Sox, just because they have Bogarts and they have Devers, and and it's gonna be different. However, it makes sense if he goes there because of Alex Cora.
I would love it.
He was his coach. Um, he was his coach on the Astros,
Yes.
when Carlos Face came up, and then, well, his GM, of course, with the Puerto Rico team for the WBC, and they're
Yeah.
both Puerto Ricans, and they both know each other very well. So it
Hmm.
really makes sense. But I think Korea and the Yankees make a whole lot of sense.
Oh no!
Uh,
Don't do that to me, Danny.
I don't know.
They get everybody, and look, they got
Yeah,
Judge,
it's
and what are they doing? All that
I know.
talent. Oh my goodness.
Add,
Shifting
add up
gears,
more talent. Yeah.
one thing I really want to ask you about, and this was going to be like my point of the our talk before everything happened today. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, like I'm sure everyone else, I get a notification on ESPN, breaking news with the Marlins, and we never get
Mhm.
breaking news with the Marlins. So for that to happen, I said, "Oh my goodness, is Lone Depot Park on fire? Like what is happening with the Marlins?" So we get this notification that Jeter pretty much jumped ship on the Marlins. And from what I'm hearing, it's because he didn't have the same vision as the Marlins. He doesn't see it going the same way. But what happened? What's going on? What is your tell us why? I mean, Jeter was such a big asset to the Miami, market and the team, and we were so excited when he came along, and then just jump ship. So, que paso? Like, what's up?
Yeah. There are many you know different versions about what happened. I
Of
think
course,
what Derek said on, him not having the same vision, or the team not having the same vision that he had, and where, to what he signed up for. It's a clear and a strong statement, right? I don't think it has to do at all with him supporting the players, as many people mention,
yeah.
with this discussion of the new CBA. But I don't think he was at all on the same page with the owners, and especially with Bruce Sherman.
Hmm.
I don't think that the relationship that got that good, especially in the last couple of weeks, because we got to see Derek at the beginning of February, in Jupiter for minor league camp, and he was around with people from the staff, and guys like Gary Dembo and Jeff DeGroot,
Yeah.
um, and many people there. So it was really surprising to see him go the way he did. So I
So
think
shocked
they
you
were,
too.
yeah. I could have expected Jeter to, not to come back after 2022, because this was his last year. His last year in the contract, right?
Yeah, at
So
least finish it out.
it was going to expire, and then it was, if things did not go well, this season, he was going to step down. But
Mhm.
it caught us all by surprise a
So
year
you too.
earlier.
Okay, I thought it was just me. Like when it broke, I was like, no, I can't be reading this right. Like Marlins never
Yeah.
get breaking news. So definitely. So what? So last thing I want to ask you. So what now? So are you gonna be going right to spring training, or the players are they gonna give them a buff time to get there? I know a lot of them are back in their home country. Like what happens now? So what's the next steps
So
with these?
yeah, plenty of them are between here and Arizona, especially because in Arizona they opened the MLBPA training facility, which is
Okay.
awesome. What I saw is it's amazing, and from what I heard, but they're gonna be back. They can start reporting tomorrow voluntarily, and Sunday it's the mandatory date to report.
This Sunday.
So
Okay.
yeah, so official workouts can start Monday. Some players are, for example, Jesus Aguilar from the Marlins. He lives in
I love
Orlando.
him.
Yeah, I love him too. Aggie is driving down from Orlando to Miami tomorrow. So Saturday
Okay.
he will be, well, not to Miami but to Jupiter. So
Yeah.
now he will get there, and everything will be done. So um, let's see what's gonna happen. Obviously, free agency is gonna be quick. Well, I cannot say it's gonna be quick. I would say it's gonna be crazy, but I don't think that we're gonna see a guy like Chris Bryant or Correa or Rizzo
No.
or I don't know, Freddie Freeman, Clayton Kershaw, Trevor Story, all of them signing tomorrow.
No,
This
they're
week is
gonna play
quick,
it
but
out.
remember something. The last time players were allowed to talk to teams or team employees was on December 1st. They're picking up now all those conversations. Maybe plans change for some ball clubs or some
People's
players.
heart change.
And
Things change in a few months.
yeah,
People
exactly.
change.
So yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting part, to see what happens now with them. So yeah, we still gotta see, and hopefully we get to something really quick. But I'm very happy, to have
I'm
baseball
I'm
back, and
extremely happy.
I'm
Like happy
yeah,
baseball day. Like I have the baseball here. I dusted off the Marlins jersey. I mean, and for everybody, people like you who follow the team, the people who work in spring training facilities. I mean, the players. It's so good to have it back. And I appreciate everything that you do for the game. I follow
thank
you and
you.
your family. You guys do such an amazing job. And you were one of the first ones to report that baseball is back. I mean, it's probably one of the happiest tweets you've ever tweeted.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
sure.
no, it's a
I was actually the first one, I think. And to send those two words, I just put done deal,
baseball
and
is
and, and
back.
it was a
Oh,
done deal.
I honestly didn't know if it was going to happen. I this weekend, my family and Lou were all supposed to go to the Yankee spring training. We had it planned a while ago, and obviously, that's not happening. We were just a week late, but no, I'm super excited, super thankful that you were able to go on the show tonight. One thing that I want to do with my guests is that I want to give back, right? And I have this contest that I'm going to start. So if you can say, so the name
Wow.
of my
Okay.
show, have you been practicing?
No, let's go. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
so what you
Tell me.
have to do is this the name of my show: Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. If you can say that 5 times, I will donate $25 to the charity of your choice.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready.
So it's gonna be bad calls, balls, and brawls with
Five
sports,
times.
babe. Okay.
No, you don't
Bad
say sports
call.
babe. You don't say
Okay.
sports babe.
Okay. Bad
Call me
calls,
babe, whatever.
balls.
Just the title of the show. All
Bad
right.
calls, balls, and
Listo?
brawls. Bad. Okay.
5 times.
Listo. It's
Ready?
like five
And
times.
5 times. You can't. I
Okay.
can't even say it once. So if you can say it
Okay. Okay.
five.
Okay. Okay.
Ready? Uno,
One,
dos,
dos,
tres.
tres. Bad calls, balls, and brawls. Bad calls, balls, and brawls. Bad calls, balls, and brawls. Bad calls, balls, and brawls, and bad calls, balls, and brawls.
Stop the madness. Oh, congratulations, Danny. Where am I donating to? You tell me your favorite charity of choice.
Right now, I would like to choose, and thank you so much for doing this. Raíces Venezolanas, Venezuelan Roots. It's a foundation that we support, me and my family, to help those Venezuelans, and even not only Venezuelans, but people who are coming to the United States,
Yeah.
and they need, things for their new apartments, or if they're staying with a friend or a family member, or
Yeah.
whatever they're staying, we give um, clothes and things for the kitchen or their bedrooms or their
I
offices
love
or
it.
whatever. So we do that. We actually donate those items to them, whatever they need, even if it's just an individual or a whole family of five, four, six, seven, 8 people, as many as they are, and we love doing that. We love giving back to them, to the community, to the Venezuelan community. You've been knowing me for a long time now, and you
Your
know how
family's
important it
history
is.
is
Yeah,
beautiful, and I know that when
thank you,
Venezuela is going through a lot of things, your
thank you,
family stayed strong, and I admire that. So
thank
$25 is
you.
coming your way to the organization. And last thing, tell my followers where they can find you on social media, what you do, how they can stay in contact with you, especially with all the baseball news coming up, and how they can stay in touch with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit the name and the. Let me see if I can put it here. The Twitter handle. Yes, there you go.
Perfect.
So people can follow me on that address, Daniel Alvarez EE, and EE stands for El Extra Base or El Extra Base, as you may want to call it. You can also follow El Extra Base on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also visit our website, elextrabase.com. For now, only in Spanish, but you can go and translate on the
Translate
website
button, Google
and
Translate.
exactly, and also ask me whatever you guys need. I know you're doing a very good job in Spanish, and you understand Spanish pretty well. So,
I do, but some of my
yeah.
followers might not. Um, hey, thank you for spending tonight with me. I know you're super busy. I definitely hope to catch up with you maybe in a few weeks before the season starts to get some predictions. Hopefully, some players have moved then. So, definitely would love to have you back on the show once things like cool down a little bit, but before opening day.
No, thank you. I'm available 24/7 for whatever you need, and
You're the
also want to
best.
congratulate you in this new adventure. I'm gonna
Thank you.
support it. As much as I can,
You're the
and
best.
wishing you all the best.
You're the best, Danny. All right. Catch
Right.
ya.
Good.
Have a lot of fun tonight. Mwah, Besos. And
Okay.
baseball is back. So awesome. All right. I will catch you. Take care. Bye. All right, guys. So very, very fortunate to have Danny tonight. Like I said before, we've had this planned out for a few days now, and we were originally just going to talk about the lockout and for the agreements and the parties that come together just a few hours ago. It was like perfect, perfect, perfect timing. So thank you again to Danny with L Extra Bases MLB affiliate for coming on tonight and talking. It was fantastic, and I hope happy baseball day to everybody. All right, so let's just talk Red Sox Red Sox, I'll say that for another one. But Dolphins, we signed Mike Gesicki. We franchised him, franchise tag. So hey, if you're thinking about what jersey to get, you're thinking maybe not Tua. Gesicki is the guy. He was ours for a good amount of time. So get that jersey number 88, Mike Gesicki. Buy that jersey. He is ours. Um, Also, my next episode, I was invited to the Hard Rock this week to talk about, being a season ticket holder. I met with a few of the reps. So, there was many concerns that I had along with other Dolphin season ticket holders that, we spoke about. So I will update you guys on kind of the direction the season ticket program is going to go on the next episode. So stay tuned with that. Miami Heat. Oh my goodness. So last night we played the Suns, right? It was ESPN picked it up. And, prior to this, we beat the Suns by over 20 points in Phoenix earlier in the season. So last night, Phoenix comes here and we sure got burned by the Suns, right? Literally melted us. It was a rough game. Jimmy Butler wasn't playing. He was out from illness, but whatever the case may be, get it out of your system now. And even his and even more like it just the first half we were fine, and then the second half came and it just everything fell apart. And coming off that win on Monday against the Rockets, Victor Oladipo's back, Tyler Hero drops over 30 points. It was rough. So there's a little under 20 games left in the season. I'm confident that this is just one game. We have Cleveland coming into town tomorrow. I think it's fine. I think we're still okay. No need to push the panic button. We beat them there. They beat us here, and everything's still good. So no need to worry about the Heat. We're still a-okay. And then the last thing, March Madness, right? So it is starting this week. The big little tournaments, the little conferences. I don't want to say little because everybody's important. Wagner, all those, Bryant, all those teams and everything. Those have wrapped up. Now we're having the Big East, ACC, Big Ten, all of that's happening. So we can get Selection Sunday on Sunday. Actually, my team, St. John's, is playing right now. So if you're watching it, do not tell me the score. And other people in the chat, do not tell me the score of St. John's. I'm recording it. I'm sure hoping we beat Villanova tonight. I would love to stamp our ticket into the tournament that way, because it would be fantastic to see my team, even though it's been a so-so season. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. One thing that I did want to tell you is that for Dolphins fans, 2 events coming up that are not happening in Miami, that if you're in the surrounding areas of Southern California or Southwest Florida. Saturday, May 21st, our Fins Club, Southern California, they're having a picnic in San Bernardino on Saturday, May 21st. And then Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 28th, Allie Dolfricki and her crew, Southwest Dolphins fan club, they're having a beach bash and meetup in Sanibel Island on Saturday, May 28th. So definitely, if you guys are around, try to make it there. But in the meantime, I'm going to go catch my St. John's, but baseball is back. All is well. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you again to Danny for giving us an overview of what happened, what's happening. And until then, catch you at the ballpark. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Let's go.